This is about the most ferocious storm I've seen here. Apparently we've got some cyclones off the tip of the coast in Cairns, and I'm just shooting this through glass, so sorry for the lack of clarity, but it's just so windy outside. I'll just get moisture over the lens, but I've never seen it this bad. Those trees were virtually bent over to 90 degrees at one stage. You can see how bad this wind really is, and we haven't had any cyclone alerts yet to my knowledge. I had a guy from Harvey Norman install a new electric oven today, so they turned up, but it does seem to be getting progressively worse. And one of my tradies who did the ceiling, he's on a job at the moment. He was going to pop round for a quote, but I don't know if he'll make it now. So we'll just see how it goes. I've also got a fairly important phone call at 1:30, and it's about 11:30 now, so hopefully this is just a passing storm, but who knows. Like I say, I'm recording it because I've never seen the wind this ferocious. You can see what's happening. Look at that. Wow, that's really gusting. Yeah, so this absolutely foul weather today. The only good news is that the stock market has improved, has actually bounced back. Not fully, but quite a bit. It's back in the sane zone anyway, I'll put you that way. So yeah, it was looking really sad, but look at that. Oh, oh. Yeah, this is a sort of, that's why I've taken the camera out to give you a look, because yeah, that's pretty full on wind we've got there. And I can't recall seeing it this bad before. I've been here I've been here about 4.5 years in total. I rented for the first year, and I've had this place for 3.5 years, and I have not seen a storm this strong before. So mind you, I wasn't here in summer last year. I was in Vietnam, so it is the cyclone season. But yeah, apparently there's 1 or 2 cyclones off the coast at the moment, just lingering. We don't know where they're going to go, so this could get rather nasty. So fingers crossed. I'll have an apartment to sell in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, I might be just looking at getting insurance money through the body corporate, and God knows how long that'll take. Oh boy. Yeah, this is looking bad. Well, it's Saturday morning, just before 9 o'clock. I'm going to have another crack at going to the hairstyles. You can see my hair's a bit on the long side. You can see it's a little unkempt and definitely needs a trim, and it's annoying me. So it's got to that stage where I basically now feel compelled to actually get a haircut. But before I go any further with that, I want to just give a scam alert to people living in Cairns specifically. I was the victim, well, potential victim is probably a better way of putting it, of this particular scam yesterday. What happens is you get a robocall, and someone in a dour sort of, a guy in a dour sort of police type voice tells you that you're potentially going to be arrested. And then he says you need to push number 1 to discover what the offence is. Now apparently this happened to me about midday yesterday, and I was a little perturbed about it. I lost the connection on the phone when I was trying to dial one. But when I did a little bit of research this morning when I woke up, and apparently this is a scam that's being run specifically in Cairns. A number of people have been contacted like I was with the same spiel, and what you're supposed to do, once you push the 1, then apparently they say you need to pay a fine and you need to provide your financial details, and you can see where this is going. So it's just a total a new angle on the old scam, like the Nigerian prince that contacted you. I had that email a few years ago. It was laughable, asking for money, and but this one's a little more sophisticated and a little more insidious, because it panics people into thinking that they may be arrested. And I guess a few of us have got skeletons in the closet, and you never know. You think maybe for some technicality or whatever, you might be up for that. Who knows? But it's a pretty scummy thing to do, and the cops have been alerted to it. I rang the cops yesterday, and I had to leave a message. Said flat chat. I also popped by the main police station, and again, there was two groups of people waiting to see someone at the desk. So I said, bugger this. So what I did was I filed an online report as soon as I read this article. Thank God for the internet, because it made me realise that I'm not the only one, and that this is definitely a scam. I mean, I had my doubts about the veracity of what they were saying anyway. I mean, it sounded really dodgy. Also, I traced the mobile number that was used. It's a Vodafone mobile number. I don't think Vodafone would be too happy knowing their service is being used for something like this. I rang the number, and it was it wasn't in operation, so I'm not sure what technology these scammers are using. Maybe they're just hijacking a number that hasn't been allocated yet. Who knows? I mean, I think it was a fairly sophisticated scam in that it did sound sort of pseudo-authentic. The voice was quite good, and the fact that you had to push a number made it feel like it maybe some company or organisation had set this up. But after reading the article, I'm now 100% convinced it was just a scam. So I've lodged that report with the police online, and hopefully that's the end of it. So beware if you get one of those sort of calls. If you're living up here, just hang up. Don't provide any financial or personal details to these people. The cops, if they want to arrest you, they will turn up to your place of residence, and they will, if you're not at home, they'll leave a card. So that's how it normally works. Luckily, I haven't had experience dealing with the police in that respect, so I thought I'd just pass that on as a piece of information. So just be careful. It is there are plenty. Most people are pretty good. Most people up here are very decent people, but there's always a few scumbags in the mix that make it hard for the rest of us. So, oh well. So yeah, I'm in a cleaning binge at the moment, trying to get rid of all the mould in my house. And I'm not a great housekeeper, but I found I bought White King, and it seemed to work pretty effectively on the cabinet in the bathroom. Really effective. I left it for more than the recommended 5 minutes. Probably just I got distracted, so probably about 20 minutes or so, and it really did clean out the mould. It was more effective than the generic one I got from Coles, for instance. Although that was probably out of date, to be fair to them. That's something I definitely noticed here. A lot of guys, middle-aged guys, have got these big white beards. It seems to almost be an identifier of it living in Cairns. Anyway, so I'm battling mould, and I'm winning the race, although the trouble is it's so effective that it appears to have taken. I tried it in the kitchen next, and it removed about 50% of the mould on the tiles just behind the taps, but it also removed the surface of the actual of the cabinet. So it's gone a sort of a very, very light colour now. Maybe a paint job's required or something just there. I don't know what can be done, but Adam might have some ideas, because I'll need to see Adam about getting the range top installed for an electric oven that I intend to buy today at Harvey Norman, as well as the electric oven itself. See if I can get them to give me a deal on the thing. I thought it cost about $80 to have it delivered, but it's only 60, so that's a little bit of good news, I guess. And I might be able to negotiate down the price, seeing that I'm going to buy 2 items. I'm going to go with a Westinghouse, I think. Westinghouse oven, which is the same price as the other oven. I can't remember what the make was, the other one, but it was one that I had in my old flat in Melbourne. But the Westinghouse had excellent reviews on Harvey Norman, so, and it looks fine. That's the main thing. It just looks good. It's just bring up the whole kitchen. There's so much stuff to be done. Also, I had a bit of a long conversation with Lynette. She gave me a call yesterday afternoon, so I told her all about the scam thing and what have you. But she also mentioned to me, and this really surprised me, she actually bought this house that looks pretty good from what I can see. I've only seen the photos of it. It's in Whitfield, and which is next to Edge Hill, so it's quite a desirable house, but just a little bit further out. But it she bought it without actually physically inspecting it, which surprised me, because she'd seen a lot of properties when she came up here for a couple of days. But what she sensibly did was she got a building inspector in to do a thorough inspection of the property. Now, I think it's totally essential, if you're not going to physically be there to check out a place, you'd be absolutely crazy not getting a building inspector. So I think she did the right thing there, and I think her house looks pretty damn good. But apparently she couldn't inspect it because the guy who owns it, who lives in WA, was renting out to Airbnb people, so no inspections were available. It's not exactly an ideal way to sell a property, and I think she probably got a very good price because of that. There were a number of people who were interested too in the same property, and so I think she paid a reasonable amount for it personally. I think she's done well. So, and I know she's worried that she may not have done well. I suppose I can understand that if you haven't actually physically seen the place. It'll be a relief to her when the settlement takes place and she's actually there. So, but from what I can see, it looks like she's done a pretty good deal. So, hope it all goes well for her. I'm going through the stressful selling period. It's horrible selling a place. She's a lot more involved from my point of view when selling a place as opposed to buying one. Buying one's fun. That's the fun part of the exercise, but selling, there's a lot more obligations on you. So you can see very quiet this morning. It's good. Hopefully there won't be too many people at the hairdresser. So we'll see. And it is a bit cooler in the morning, of course. Makes sense on a couple of fronts. But yeah, there's bugger all people in traffic. So very good. Anyway, so the first thing to do today is go to the hairdresser, get that out of the way, come back, go to Kmart, see if we can get some cheap smoke alarms, I should say. See if they've actually got those cheap ones in stock. And after that, I'll go to Harvey Norman, see if we can finally get this business, buying the electric oven out of the way and get a delivery date for it. And then the next hurdle I've got to cover is basically finding out how much it's going to cost to have an electrician install the bloody thing, because I've already been quoted $150 from Bees Electrics. Well, I'm happy with them, they're a good company, but that's a lot of money for just basically plug in an electric oven, in my opinion. So and they won't do the cut-off switch, and that's a new piece of legislation apparently. Governments just keep pouring on more and more legislation and requirements for safety in the house, but I just think it's getting over the top. I mean, I haven't heard of a spate of electric ovens going up in flames of recent times, so why this obsession? Because it's going to cost more money to have this cut-off switch put in, and it's a more recent development. And they're doing the same thing with smoke alarms. They're going to tighten up those regulations and force you to have to buy more expensive smoke alarms as well. Again, I think it's just ridiculous, but it's our society these days. We are so obsessed with risk minimization. It's costing us money. The biggest cost, of course, has been in what I regard as the overreaction to COVID, which has shut down state borders, and that has really diminished the GNP of Australia. It's bad enough having the external borders closed, but when you're closing internal borders, that's just suicide economically. So yeah, not impressed. I guess you already know that I'm consistent with this particular topic. I've thought from the word go that the way they've handled this has been pretty ordinary, and I think people are starting to see through it all too. Actually, what should we go up here? What am I doing? Yeah, it's a fair hike actually to the hairdresser. Pretty popular hairdresser, and yes, she did a good job last time. $20 isn't as cheap as I was paying in Melbourne, because there's so much competition down there near Vic Market. Mind you, they may have gone up to $20 by now. I think I might have ended up paying between $10 and $15 there. So, but by Cairns standards, this is reasonable price. And as I say, she did a decent job. And they're popular. People flock to the place. So, yeah, it's good. Whew. So I've got to work out what I do if I go to them. If I get my hair cut, will I go to Harvey Norman? They're also located in Spence Street where the hairdresser is. Or will I go back to Kmart? I might probably be smarter to go to Harvey Norman first though, maybe, I don't know. I have a horrible feeling that the cheap ones won't be available here. I've been to Kmart before and they haven't had all the stock that's been advertised online, so I'm not that hopeful, to be quite frank. Yeah. They're doing a bit of work on the other entrance to, well, it might have been that entrance yesterday. They're doing some work on that scaffolding outside. It might be the main entrance further down for Cairns Central. So that's where Woolworths is located, just behind there. We can see the Woolworths sign there. So it's not a bad store, the new store. It's quite large, and it means you can be in air-conditioned comfort doing your shopping and then walking the whole distance of the Cairns Central. And you see it's a reasonably large building. So, like, this is the southern end, and I'll turn it round. You go right back down a couple of blocks to the northern end. So yeah, it's a bit of it would have made a big change to the city when it was first built. I think it's been around for maybe 15 years or so, something like that. But yeah, and over here in Spencer, you can see all those boards there. They've been here forever. There's been, I think it's called Nova Developments, and it's just a paddock behind there. They just haven't ever built it. Actually, the real estate agent, Darcy, Darcy also spoke to Lynette. Lynette rang him up, and she put him down as one of the nice guys to deal with. She made a list of people she thought who were arrogant real estate agents, and ones who were attentive and ones who were nice guys, and he was regarded as one of the nice guys. And yeah, he's easy to deal with. He's a good guy. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.